So there's a lot of bad tendencies that I'm seeing on X.com, especially recently. This explosion in activity, people taking the red pill and gobbling up memes and fake documentaries from BitChute.com or random conspiracy websites. And these people are putting out a lot of disinformation, a lot of faulty logic, a lot of oversimplified and embellished bullshit. And we have to correct these people because they're derailing, they are pushing false narratives, they are embellishing the evidence for things, and they're just complete dipshits. So somebody's got to put them in their place. Somebody's got to correct the disinformation that flows in these terminally online social circles. So one of the things is the what I call the pathologically obsessed JQers, right? These are people that try to they put on their little glasses, their little Jew glasses, and they look for this group in any particular issue they don't like, right? So think of it's basically all the liberal stuff. So it's like LGBT, feminism, transgenderism, pornography, whatever the case is, they will go into that thing and try to look for them, put on their goggles, find the Jews involved in that, and then the Jew goggles erase all of the other people involved in it. They don't exist anymore. It's just them. And this is the cherry picking method they engage in. And one of the tricks that they use to try to dissuade dissent from this line is they will accuse anyone who doesn't agree with them, somebody that's a bit more discerning and a bit more interested in the evidence, that person loves Jews and they're defending the Jews because they're including everybody into the critique and not just Jews. So this is the issue. Nobody's defending Jews. I mean, there's plenty of critiques to make specifically of Jews or their religion or their lobbies or whatever. There's plenty of specific critiques to make. There's plenty of valid critiques to make. But cherry picking them out of a lineup of liberals, whether it's LGBT, trans, or pornography, is totally dishonest, and you are just engaged in your own deception by doing so, because you're letting everybody else off the hook, essentially, right? You're saying, here's a bunch of pornographers. Look, 5 of them are Jewish, so Jews did pornography. Yet, you look at the whole picture, you look at the full picture, and you see, oh, there's 10 of them that you left out that are Italians and Anglo-Saxons and every other ethnicity, black. I mean, it's such a diverse industry now. And what these schizophrenics will do, their method, their shaming tactic, is they'll create an embellishment of the issue, right? They'll cherry pick, they will, or just invent some kooky theory, right? They'll say, COVID was manufactured by Jews to kill all the non-Jews. A clearly ridiculous claim. And if you say, I don't believe that, right? If you push back on it and say, I don't believe that, I think that's bullshit, right? I think you're exaggerating. I think you're making things up. They will just accuse you of defending Jews, right? So they can say anything they want. They can make up any theory they want. They can say Jews are blood-drinking reptiles from the 4th dimension who fly in UFOs and zap Gentiles and kill them or abduct them and do experiments. Like anything. They can make up any theory. And if you dissent from that theory, oh, you're defending them, are you? Oh, here we go. You're part of the cabal. So this is their game. It's like a Muslim who will accuse you of being a Zionist if you don't support them. If you don't support Palestine, you must be a Zionist. You must be, a Netanyahu shill because you don't love Hamas. So this is the tactic. It's totally dishonest. It's deceptive. What I do is I include everybody in the critique. So when I look at immigration, I'll say, here's the Jewish charities promoting immigration. Here's the Christian charities doing the exact same thing. Here's some Jewish liberal politicians who support immigration. And here's some Christian white politicians, here's some black politicians doing the same thing, have the same position, right? So you got Chuck Schumer, just the American example. You got Chuck Schumer, he's like this open borders Jewish liberal. And then you got Joe Biden, an open borders Catholic liberal. Or Elizabeth Warren, open borders Christian liberal. You got Hebrew Immigrant Aid, and then you got U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, Lutheran Immigration Services, and 5 other major Christian charities doing the same thing. So what they do is they ignore all the Christians doing the same thing. Cherry pick out that one organization and say, they did it. Do you see how that's dishonest? Do you see how you're ignoring the evidence? Do you see how you're not holding everybody accountable for the thing you don't like? If you don't like pornography, it doesn't matter who's making the pornography. It doesn't matter what their ethnicity is. They're all bad, right? If pornography is bad, then every pornographer should be in jail. And then I put out this article and I show, here's all these Italian mobsters promoting pornography. Paul, what's his name? Robert DiBernardo, one of the biggest prolific distributors. Thevis, Damiano, one of the biggest porn directors early on. John Stagliano, Hugh Hefner, Larry Flint. If you're against pornography, you have to include these people into the critique. But they don't. They leave them off the list. They make excuses for them because this is the mindset that they've developed. It's either that these people are Christians themselves, and so they don't want to blame Christians or people with a Christian background, right? Or they're white nationalists and they have this blind spot. So if the person is white, then they get a pass. So Joe Biden gets a pass. Angela Merkel gets a pass. Justin Trudeau gets a pass. Von der Leyen, all of these white liberal politicians doing the same things that you don't like and you don't call them out. Or if they do call them out, they make an excuse and say they're puppets or they're Shabbos Goyim. So there's no responsibility. They don't know what they're doing. They're being paid. Even if they're being paid, even if you believe that, they're guilty. They did it. They took a bribe. They took a bundle of money and did what you don't like. Stop making excuses. All of the people involved should be included into the critique. That's all I'm saying. That's all I've ever said. But these idiots will take things out of context, spin falsehoods, twist what you're saying to suit their narrative because they're completely full of shit. And they don't want to hold people accountable if those people fill the identity categories that they're biased for, right? You're not anti-leftist. You're not anti-globalist. You're not anti-pornography. If you make excuses for people doing those things just because they're the same ethnicity as you, just because they're the same religion as you,